welcome to our turntable demonstration. My name is Chris, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the building that we're standing in, a bit about turntables, and I'm joined today by Sean. Sean's going to do the really exciting bit and turn the turntable round for one full turn. And we're also joined by Hannah and Laura down there. Just give them a wave. They're new explainers and they're just learning the ropes, so they're on as well to see what we do. So, this building, it hasn't always been the Great Hall of the National Railway Museum, but it has always had a railway connection. The National Railway Museum here on this site opened in 1975, and before that, this was one of York's engine sheds. And when it was an engine shed, it would have looked very different to how it looks today. Firstly, the roof was a lot lower. It was only about half the height that it is today. There were no glass panels, the length of the ceiling or at the ends of the building, so it would have been quite dark in here. There would have been some roof lights and oil lamps hanging down from the ceiling, but otherwise it would have been quite dark. Above the locomotives around the turntable, there would have been smoke hoods to take away some of the smoke and the steam. But in the early days, before they had electricity to help them do that, it wasn't very effective, so smoke and steam around in here. On the floor, there would have been oil and water around, and also a lot of people, because at its busiest, there were 722 men and boys who worked here at this engine shed, and 169 locomotives were based in and around this shed, so it's a very, very busy place. Well, this turntable is one of 4 that were originally in this building. This was the largest one. It's 70 foot or 21.5 metres across. There was a slightly smaller one over where my arm stands today. But one of the original uses of a turntable isn't required on today's railways, and that's to turn your locomotive round at the end of the line. Just today's locomotives, today's engines have a cavity in the end, so the driver can get down from one end, go to the other, and off he goes. But in the days of steam, if you were on a locomotive such as 737 here behind me, and you didn't have a turntable to turn the engine round, you would have to have gone backwards or tender first. So you don't have a lot of protection on this locomotive at the best of times, but particularly not when you're going backwards. And in the summer, the coal on the tender would dry out, so you'd have coal dust blowing into your face. So you can't drive as quickly, as easily, or as safely backwards as you can forwards. If you have a turntable, it does make life much easier. And another reason for having turntables is to store your locomotives. You can see we've got 24 tracks around this turntable, and we can store engines on all the tracks except for 4 and 5, which are still connected to the East Coast main line. So that's where we bring our trains in and out onto the turntable, because this is still very much a working turntable. Right, I think it's about time we move this turntable, so we're going to have the bolt released by Hannah. She's going to release the bolt for us, so that we're free to move. You can see all the tracks have numbers, and underneath is where we put the bolt in. And now we're going to switch on the power, which Laura is doing, and that clunk sound shows that we've got power, so that's very good. It means we won't have to do it all by hand. Right, so just before we set off, we just have to issue a safety warning, because when this turntable was installed, which was in 1954, it was cutting-edge technology, state-of-the-art, but unfortunately they didn't fit an effective brake. We do have a brake, but it doesn't stop us very quickly. So, can I ask if everyone can stand back from the barrier, just take a pace back and just make sure that there's nothing hanging over the top or underneath, because we don't want to take anybody around with us. So, we'll just check that we're okay to go. Okay, Sean, take us away. Thank you. how hard it is to wind it round by hand. As I said, this turntable is 70 foot across. There's an engine there on track 19, the KF7, which is over 90 foot in length. So if anybody can think how we got it over there, do come and have a word with us at the end. Right, we're about to start winding any time. Just having less of a night. Okay, yeah, off we go. So Sean's moving about 100 tons of turntable and a locomotive, so they're making it look very easy. Just get back into place in just a moment. Ready with the bolt, and almost there. There we are. I think all three of them deserve a big round of applause for that. Thank you. Thank you very much everyone for coming and listening, and if you want to come and have a word with us, please do. Otherwise, do enjoy the rest of your day.